How do you think projects like Share Sound have changed the way that orchestras and individual artists will think and operate when society gets past lockdowns and social distancing and into a more familiar pattern of life? Do you think orchestras will revert to how they did things before COVID?
I mean, I'm personally desperate to get back in a room and hear young musicians playing their instruments together where they can hear each other and I can hear them and the professional musicians I'm working with can hear each other, and to get that kind of bloom of sound that Zoom just doesn't offer.
Mm.
Um, I've really missed that kind of snowballing thing that happens when you're all in a room trying out ideas, because you'll just hear a snatch of of somebody playing something, maybe even it was a mistake, and kind of you can pounce on it and suddenly that becomes the main thing that everybody's working on. And so there are things that you just can't do on Zoom. I mean, I think in terms of sort of boring practical things, I think there will be, we've realized that you can actually have a really decent planning meeting with the orchestral musicians, with the hub team, with me, with you, and we can all do that on Zoom. We don't have to burn fossil fuels getting to a meeting, and actually we've got a very egalitarian space in which everybody is represented equally and we all have an equal voice and a space on the screen. So I think there probably will be certainly planning for projects and perhaps even some delivery. I mean, I wonder whether we'll start having a sort of mixed terrain where that there's creative work and focused creative work is happening in real life. The things that are just unarguably better in real life, but that we might, you know, actually in a week and a half, I'm doing in Lincolnshire. Rosie Begonzi and I are doing a composition symposium, and it's been opened out to the whole of the orchestra, which is enormous. Like there are 100 young people, and 8 keen young composers are coming along for an hour and a half on a Sunday morning. And actually, Zoom is a really good forum to do that. I can share my screen, we can look in detail at the score, I can annotate as I go, and I can hear their voices really clearly over. Actually, there's no need for me to travel to Lincolnshire to do that
Mm.
activity. It works really well online, and so
Yeah.
maybe we will just look at what are the things that we can do in a meaningful way that are digital to mix it up.
I agree. I think from our point of view, operating in underserved areas, underinvested communities in far-flung parts of the country, then we may be able to do more for budgets and for timescales by by having some live work and some remote work. Some that it may enable us to do more. And actually having a healthy mix of kind of online, but retaining that specialness of the live could well be a way in which things happen increasingly going forwards.
And I think also I mean, I use the notation program Sibelius to write down music, but that's kind of it historically for me with technology. I'm not a Logic user. I'm not. That's not that's not my go-to thing. So I'll use GarageBand to sequence ideas, but in a very very crude way. But I've had to learn how to make videos. I've had to learn how to upload those things, and I I would say that the resources that I've offered people that I've been working with have got better. I can make a film to introduce a song that I've written. Um, I can film myself doing the Makaton signs on a project with singing, and make a really good learning resource for people. And I just had never done that before. I'd never been put in a position where I was expecting myself to do that. So I think that those will be other positive outcomes as well. That kind of we've invested in learning about how to use technology, even those of us who didn't love technology before.